Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Retro Gamers Podcast, a reformatted, if you will, visually Retro Gamers Podcast, episode number 181. Larry here.
And Anthony here.
We couldn't wait another 20 episodes. We're like, you know what, let's try something new now.
Well, you know, I mean, look, we're all trying something new right now. You know, we're all stuck in our homes and we can't leave, so that gets us to fiddling. So we decided to fiddle.
Social distancing is not new to us.
No. I was born to social distance. If you can't tell by my looks, just look at the hair.
The hair.
No, this is not hair for public consumption. However, it is so hot in Los Angeles right now that I am not putting a hat on.
Yeah, I mean, it's truth be told, we kind of started this and then Skype screwed us, so we moved over to Zoom for now. And I'm gonna forgive me, I'm fiddling with this on the fly. But you were saying there's a heat wave going on. What did you say the high was over the weekend?
On Friday, it hit 102 in my hood.
Thank you.
And no thank you for me, too, because let me tell you something. You don't want to be social distancing, staying at home, and it's 102 degrees. Granted, it is hot outside. My air conditioner does not really cover the entire apartment.
Okay.
So it's like I have to be sitting in the same area as my AC.
In front of it, yes.
Right. So as of right now, it is a nice, for today, for our recording day, it is a nice, cool 90 degrees.
There you go. All right.
But the air conditioner is really far away. So by the time this is done, I'm either going to be soaking wet or you're just going to see me pass out on camera. And if everybody wants to take a bet as to which one happens, I've got $20 on passing out.
I feel like I kind of can control this bet. So I have a feeling. It's been raining basically since February in New York is what it feels like at this point. And trust me, I'd rather take the rain than the heat. Look at me. I am not designed for heat. I'm actually not designed for a lot of things, but heat is definitely not one of them. So
I am built for rain. I love the rain. I miss the rain. We had rain though a couple weeks ago.
Real quick, and I know this is way off topic, but I got to ask you.
Sure.
Well, actually, you haven't driven by anywhere. I was going to say, have you seen the movies pop up? But you haven't been probably in that area at all.
No. I honestly, I think the farthest I've driven from my house has been about
the corner,
a mile and a half.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I gassed up my car was before the stay-at-home order, and that was like March 12th.
No, for real. And honestly, it's not even a lot of people like joke, hey, my car's getting 3 weeks, 3 weeks of fill up or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm still at half a tank, and again, this is like from March, and I just drove to Brooklyn. So.
Oh yeah, no. I am. I'm well over half a tank, and it's been 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's good.
Not only that, but gas in LA is down to like $2.60. Which is insane.
That's the regular before the quarantine. Now it's like I think I saw $2.12 as I was coming home today.
Well, when the quarantine started, it was $3.80.
Oh God! Well, I remember it was $4 something here in when I was in Brooklyn. So
yes, but anyway, we're not here to talk about gas prices and stuff like that. We're here to talk about video games.
Yes,
when I was your age.
But real quick, I think the movies pop-up is at the same pop-up that the Saved by the Bell pop-up was.
Yes, it is. And as much as I would love to go there, they're not allowed to have people in.
No, they crashed Postmates twice. Day one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean they're allowing, I guess, delivery orders, but that's about it.
Not anymore. No, and then we'll move on, I promise. But this is a really interesting story. Moobies is the fictional restaurant from the Kevin Smith films Clerks, which ended up becoming really in almost every film. And he did a pop-up, which once the quarantine's over, you will be able to go and visit. But they started with Postmates only. And then when that crashed, they had another site, another app they use where it's curbside pickup, but you are scheduled, so you drive up and it's more controlled, and even that sold out really quickly. So
wow.
But in any event, with us here at the Retro Gamers, we may not have, you don't want us cooking for you, so we're not going to have any pop-ups.
No, we're not having any pop-ups. No, but we're fortunate enough we can do this.
I did get some pop vinyls, and
of course,
real quick, of course, I put them up. You'll be able to see them on our Instagram page at Retro Gamers Podcast. Of course, you can also find us on Facebook and YouTube at the same, at Retro Gamers Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Retro Gamers Pod. So some of you may have already seen these already, and now that we're in widescreen, I feel like we upgraded. Kind of like when like old TV shows upgraded to HD.
I know, but see, now I got to upgrade. Now I got to upgrade my background because you can see the part of my background that I don't want you to see, which includes the back door.
So, but now I can hold these up together. So,
ooh, very nice.
Lance and Bean from
a little higher.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got them in front of me, so now I can't.
There you go, right there. Lance Bean and Bill Reiser.
Yes,
in all their glory.
Great looking pop-ups. Great looking pop vinyls from a wonderful video game. So definitely, those were a good purchase. Lance Bean. Nice. I always love that name, Lance Bean.
Lance Bean.
So, but yeah, like I said, check us out on social media. Hit us up. Let us know, your thoughts. Maybe ask us questions there. We're more than happy to answer them here on the podcast. We definitely want to incorporate you, our loyal fans, loyal listeners. And, that's why we're back for another roaring episode of, I think, a topic that's going to be near and dear to a lot of us that I feel because of the quarantine, maybe some of us are starting to go back and, picking up where we left off.
Yeah, and I think this is a perfect topic for us because we talk about this all the time, but it's usually like, a little bit in passing, we throw away here and there in conversation, and it may get lost in the shuffle. But games that we have abandoned for one reason or another over the course of our video game lives.
Yeah.
And when I say abandoned, I'm not talking about games we've never played, because we've talked about games we've never played before. Games that we've played, we've gotten a certain distance in, and for some reason we just said, you know what? That's it. I'm done. I'm not finishing it. Or I forgot that I even got that far and moved on to something else. So we're going to focus on that today.
Yes.
And I'm sure the list is long, so we'll keep it, condensed.
I feel like it's long, but it's going to be kind of a common theme probably.
Yes.
Or at least in my opinion, it will be.
Yeah, I agree. But for each of the games that I've put down on my list, I kind of have a somewhat of a recollection of why. Like, there's always a reason why you stop.
Yeah.
So...
All right. So, when I say common theme, though, I'm talking about like a genre. But I definitely have some games as we go through this. But let me hear some of your ones that. Well, actually, let me take that back. Let me start because I do have. Just recently, I was subjected to this. In fact, I was going through my. Actually, I have it right here. Nope.
Can't hear you, buddy.
No, I know. Boy, really can't. That's interesting.
Yep.
All right.
No.
Wow. All right. I guess Skype is good for some things.
Yeah, stay in front of the mic.
But I came across my Wii and my PS3 games recently. And as I was thumbing through them, I came across my Super Paper Mario. Popped that in, had a save in there that I stopped playing years ago. Dare I say maybe even a decade ago, because I'm very much a creature of habit in the sense of once I get something new, I move on to the new thing, and the old thing lays away. But Super Paper Mario, which is now on the list for the video game challenge, that's basically that game was abandoned for a long time. Probably not my longest abandonment, but it was on there for a while.
Okay, that's fair. But now, and then did you just decide to randomly go back because it popped up on your Wii? Or you just saw it in the book? You saw it in the book, and you were like, "Oh, I wonder where I left off."
Well, I've talked about it before on this show, and I've always wanted to go back to play it anyway. So as I was thumbing through this, I was trying to find something else, and I happened to come across this book with my games. Mm-hmm. So then I was just thumbing through it, and even right now, I got Lego Batman 2, Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles, stuff like this, GoldenEye, and then when I came across it, I'm like, oh, let me pop that in. I haven't played that in a long time, and when I saw where I left off, which is only like a couple of chapters away from the ending, I was like, all right, let me see if I can remember what's going on, even how to play this game.
Right.
And then got into it, and a couple hours later or so, Dunsky.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, and that's what's funny. It's like, because like for however long ago you left those games, you have no idea exactly how close you were to finishing them. Sometimes, the game isn't doesn't really let you know that. So,
yep.
So that's a really cool, but it's really cool that you just popped it in and said, oh, look, I can finish this. And you did. So.
Yeah, the game itself, the mechanics are fairly straightforward anyway, but it took me a while to remember because it is a bit of an RPG element. And those are the ones I usually tend to leave behind. And then if I try and pick it up again, God help me, I don't know where I am. I don't know what world I'm in. I don't know what quest I'm on. I'm forced to reset the game. But this one I was able to get away with. But thumbing through this now as you talk in, I'm going to pull up some more stuff, but thumbing through this, there are a lot of games that I definitely left behind.
All right, cool. Well, what I did with my, I did write up a list ahead of time. And what I tried to do is I tried to focus on a game, 1 or 2 games per system that I left behind.
Okay. I think
because I kind of wanted to look through the variety of how many different systems did I abandon games on? Oh, all of them. Okay.
Yeah. One point or another.
And yeah, so I'm going to go back and start with the NES.
Okay.
Because Atari games, I kind of don't.
Yeah,
really
I hear you.
A lot of Atari games were just built to play continuously.
Basically.
Like Asteroids and stuff like that. It was all about high score.
Basically.
Whereas there were a lot of notable NES games. And the first one that popped in my head on the NES, and literally I wasn't trying to research as much as I was trying to think back to what was the game that I remember playing the most that I just said, enough. I'm not going to, there's no way I'm going to finish it. Forget this. It's over. The end.
It's over, Johnny.
It's over, Johnny. Send him home in a body bag. He died. But on the NES, gotta go back to Kid Icarus. Do you remember Kid Icarus?
Oh, yes.
Okay, that game was hard.
It was very difficult. You owned it originally?
It was very difficult.
I mean, I guess so.
What?
You owned it originally then?
Yeah, no. I owned it for the NES when I was a kid. And I remember playing that game all the time, and just day after day after day, trying to get further and further in, on the levels and everything like that. And then I just got to a point where I'm like, you know what? I've had it. I'm like, I'm not going to beat this because again, it's one of those games. If I remember correctly, it didn't have a save state, so you had to sit down and do it in one sitting.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Right, and it was super difficult, so it just never worked for me. So, and again, I love the game. Like, I love the gameplay. I love the character, the story, all of it. It's a complete package for a game. Mm-hmm. But in terms of the difficulty, child Anthony could not pull it off.
Will adult Anthony, though, try and go back?
Adult Anthony will try and go back and do it because, if I'm not mistaken, it's on Nintendo Online.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It's on Nintendo Online. Was it part of the NES Mini? I don't remember.
No. Somehow it was not, no.
All right. Yeah, so it is. So it's online. So I can go back to it whenever I want. I just, again, I need to get around to it. There are so many other games that I'm currently playing right now.
Honestly.
Final Fantasy VII. But yeah, Kid Icarus was definitely the one on the NES that I remember the most for just giving up on.
For me, on the NES, I think the most famous one, especially for those going back and listening to the classics that we put up every Friday, for me, it's going to be Castlevania 2. This was even before my absolute dreadful hatred for the game. I remember this was, again, when I was a kid, sitting down, playing the game, and yeah, even though I wasn't crazy about the open world aspect of it, if you will, I was very, the way my mind worked, I needed just a straightforward platform linear game. Even now, I think I need those. But, just going back and forth with Castlevania 2, and this is even before getting to the kneeling part. Just the, having to go to Dracula's castle, trying to find, all the different pieces of Dracula, all those ridiculous hidden pitfalls in the different castles where you have to constantly just throw your stupid holy water. I mean, It was so daunting for me. I really was like, forget this. And I think that's where it kind of started for me. And then when I went back to try and play it for us, it reminded me of how frustrating it is. But yeah, that's probably the first one where I just took the controller, put it down, and was like, good night, sir. and called it a day on Castlevania 2. I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
and
it's okay. I can understand.
The same probably went with, even though I never owned it, I rented it, Zelda 2, Adventures of Link. Another situation that I just wasn't, at the time, I just couldn't, what's the word I'm looking for? Understand or respect, for lack of a better term, these overworld RPGs like that, like Dragon's Warrior and stuff like that. Just these random, obviously you're walking and you can't go 2 feet without going into another battle. The frustration was like, I don't want to deal with this. And I never rented it again. But as much as those are my frustration reasons, I think for me, and we'll get into more as we talk about this, my abandonment issues, besides a lot of different reasons, would be more just, I think I just let it go to the wayside. I just kind of forgot about it. So it's more of a, not abandonment as much as, I just forget about it. I'm like, you go there now. I don't need to deal with you anymore.
Yeah. It's like, I have a new shiny game I want to play.
Basically, that's exactly it. Look, here's the, the new kid in school. I want to be their best friend.
Yep. I won't comment on that.
And we're here now.
Yes. Because when you get a new game, immediately everything else just kind of
absolutely.
Because you're like, oh, I got to play this new game.
Yeah.
It was not. As a kid, I remember the same thing. There wasn't a sense of juggling games. It really was like, boom, I'm playing this one. I'm playing this one. I'm playing this one. Oh, something new. Boom, playing that one now.
Very much.
I remember doing that a lot. It's only when I got older that I started to like flip flop between, because I started to like, and it's funny too, because I would flip flop between genres more than I did games. So in other words,
weird.
So it was like I had like a puzzle game that I played. I had a survival horror game that I played, an action game that I played, or a fighter game that I played. Like it would kind of happen that way. And then when I beat one of the puzzler games, I moved to the next one.
Okay.
Like that's kind of how I functioned. But now everything's just kind of like, all right, what am I in the mood to play today? So now I'm like a little more freewheeling with it. So like right now on my PS4, I'm in the middle of I play Dead by Daylight socially with friends, and then I work on. Now I'm working on the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Okay.
On VR, I'm still working on Astrobot.
Okay.
When I'm not playing Beat Saber for exercise, and then I just started GTA 5 for the first time. I know it's been out forever.
You can talk to Frank on that one.
Yeah, but it's like, but even seeing GTA 5 and like going back, I was like, the last GTA I ever played was GTA 3. On the Xbox.
Wow.
So I never moved on to Vice City, San Andreas, none of those. I just played the first GTA 3 and I remember how awesome it was. And then GTA 5, like a friend of mine now just started playing it too. And he's like, you really should check it out. And I said, yeah, I should. I was like, but I know what's going to happen. I'll download it and get sucked into it. So downloaded it, sucked into it now. So now it's in regular rotation with the rest of my stuff. But that's a side story. Super Nintendo, since I covered Nintendo, moving on to Super Nintendo. This one, again, it took me a minute to kind of remember because on Super Nintendo, I was actually pretty good. Almost every game that I bought, I beat.
Okay.
Which was good. And to be honest with you, my Super Nintendo collection growing up wasn't that big. Because again, remember, we're kids. Basically, the number of games we owned was relative to how many games our parents wanted to buy us.
Basically, Christmas and birthdays.
Christmas and birthdays
Maybe
were when
Easter.
you got games, and that's basically it. So, so I didn't have a ton of games on the Super Nintendo, but and that's the reason why I beat pretty much all of them. The one that I remember walking away from though was Donkey Kong Country, and I don't know why.
Really,
that's one where I don't know why. I bought it, I enjoyed it, but for some reason I put it down, and it could have been that it came out later, I think, in the system cycle, or not later, but somewhere midway.
Yeah, halfway.
Yeah, about midway. I think I got distracted when the PlayStation came out because I got the PlayStation fairly early.
I can see that.
So, and then once PlayStation came out, I think Donkey Kong Country got put aside.
It's funny you mentioned Donkey Kong Country because DKC for me was kind of the same way. I got deep into the game, and then like I said, though, it's kind of just something new comes along, and I put it to the side. But Donkey Kong Country, probably not the game that like I regret not going back to complete. I actually have two in particular. And I feel like the more we talk about these abandonment issues, the more we should get Dr. Bean back on the show just to psychoanalyze us.
You know what? I really don't want to know.
We're opening some cans here.
I know that can. I've left it closed for a reason.
Two games in particular. One of which I can play now on Super Nintendo. The other one I rebought, but on Genesis, so I may do it again. Spider-Man and Venom: Maximum Carnage.
Oh, I've never finished that too.
And Death and Return of Superman. Actually, I'm going to put three of them up there. Maximum Carnage, Death and Return of Superman, which is probably the only fantastic Superman game in my opinion. Yep. And The Adventures of Batman and Robin on Super Nintendo, not the Genesis version.
So Batman and Robin on Super Nintendo I beat.
Oh, you have? Okay. I am terrible at that game.
I am great at that game. I loved that game. I played it like crazy.
I love the game. That's what's weird. I love the game. I suck at it. Especially now. I can't even get past the Joker, and he's the level 1 boss.
Oh, wow. It's weird. I always get stuck today. Like, I've beaten the game. But I always get stuck today in the maze with the Riddler.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm sorry. I just flashed back. I'm pretty sure there was a time we played at your house. You were up to that stage, and we were trying to figure out the puzzle, which ended up being Minotaur.
HB. No.
That's right.
The riddle to solve, the response was HB, which stood for human brain. I'll never forget that because you couldn't figure it out.
It was a Minotaur that you were fighting.
You fought the Minotaur.
That's what it was. Yes. Okay.
And but nowadays, like my trouble when I go back and play it is just trying to work my way around.
Remember that? I remember just sitting there, like, what the hell are they talking about?
What is this? And why is it only 2 letters?
Honestly, we struggled for that for a while.
Because we were coming up with words, not initials, and I'm like, but what 2-letter words?
Sitting there with pizza and soda, just you've got pens. But anyway,
and paper. But getting back to it, like Batman and Robin, I beat. Death and Return of Superman, I've never played.
Really? I could have sworn you had it.
No, because I was a Marvel guy. I wasn't a DC.
Fair enough.
I had Maximum Carnage.
Did we just talk about Batman?
What?
Did we just talk about Batman?
Yes, Batman was my exception.
Okay.
Batman was my exception to the DC universe. Outside of Batman, I really look. You know me.
I do.
I was never a Hulk Hogan fan. I was never a Superman fan. The Truth, Justice, like all that stuff. Never flew with me. never cared about it. I was born to rebel against that stuff. And when I say rebel, I don't rebel at all.
No, you're terrible at it.
No, I'm off. I've abandoned it.
There you go.
So,
ding.
But for Spider-Man though, Maximum Carnage, I still own and have not beat. And Separation Anxiety, which was the other one.
I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember if I actually own Separation Anxiety. But Maximum Carnage. Yeah. And these are
the red cartridge.
Yes, that was first. I'm like, oh, cool, ooh, red, oh, ah. But the games themselves they're 3. I mean, and you really have to look into finding Death and Return of Superman. The game is phenomenal.
Oh no, I need to pick that up, and I need to pick up Lethal Foes of Spider-Man, which is also Super Nintendo.
Lethal Foes of Spider-Man?
Yeah, I think it was an import.
Really? I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, you can look it up. Or if it's from another system that they ported over. I don't remember. I do remember that the local video game shop here by me had 2 copies of it in box.
Really?
But I saw the price tag and said no thank you.
That is okay.
At the time. Now,
no, yeah.
But
oh man, I gotta look that up now. But for me, I just real quick, I'm sorry, I just wanted for those 3 particular games, and I didn't. The only 2 RPGs I played on Super Nintendo was Zelda: Link to the Past and Super Mario RPG, both of which I've defeated. I beat.
I beat those as well.
And but I just with Adventures of Batman and Robin, it just became a difficulty thing, like you mentioned before. Like, I couldn't get that far into the game. I'm worse now than I was before. So the frustration kicks in on that one. Death and Return of Superman, I think that one fell to the wayside of just, something new came along. So I didn't get a chance to beat it. And then Spider-Man, I think, was a combination of the two, where I did have some difficulty playing the game. It was a good level of difficulty, don't get me wrong, but it's just tough. And at the same time, something new came out, probably separation anxiety. Something new came out and I moved on. But those are three I definitely want to revisit, though. I think Adventures of Batman and Robin I may hold off on because I do not need that frustration in my life at this time.
Yeah, I think I beat that game on live stream, I think, last year.
Which one?
Didn't I?
Batman
and Robin. Yeah.
Was it on live stream? I don't remember if it was on live stream or not. Okay.
I remember live streaming.
Fair enough.
At some point. It was live stream or YouTube or something. It's up there somewhere.
Oh.
I remember run through it. Remember I ran through it?
Oh, no. I Lethal Foes just popped up.
There you go.
But you probably did play Amazing Spider-Man Lethal Foes on Super Famicom.
There you go. Yeah, it was an import.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I didn't pick it up at the game store near me. I wonder if they still have one. So I should go check that out. But anyway, so moving on from Super Nintendo, I'm going to switch over to the Genesis really quickly.
Okay.
And again, I had a hard time coming up with a Genesis game because I did not have a large collection, but the ones I had I either beat or, surprisingly enough, on my Genesis, I had a lot of like sports games.
Me too. It's weird.
NHL. I had my NHL games. I had PGA Tour 3, which I played a lot.
I don't know why still.
But you played it with me.
I know. We all loved it.
Yeah.
All of us in the group.
I had the Bulls versus Lakers NBA game. Like I had a lot of sports games.
Yeah.
And then I had like Castlevania Bloodline, stuff like that. Things I beat. But the one that I remember that I did not beat, surprisingly enough, was Sonic and Knuckles.
Okay.
I just put that down. I don't know why. And again, maybe it was the lure of the PlayStation at that point. But I remember owning it. I remember playing it. And I just remember just saying, I'm good.
I'm the same with Sonic and Knuckles. I've gone on record. I've never beaten any Sonic game. But
yes.
I think with me, what happened with Sonic and Knuckles is I got too much into the whole, playing the other games as Knuckles, Sonic 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So I kind of fell into that trap where I wasn't really trying to beat the game. Now I'm just trying to find the hidden areas, if you will, or the unreachable areas originally that now you can reach with Knuckles in these games. So I kind of fell into the novelty of it, and I never really thought to go back to try and actually beat the game. I don't even think I own it. I don't like the fact that I can't.
No,
I
actually do. I know for a fact that I do not own it. I have Sonic 1 and 2, but I don't have.
It's something I'm going to have to place on order.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, as we talk about these, I'm like, oh yeah, I should rebuy this.
I don't.
And then really quickly, just to throw Sega a little more 16-bit love, kind of, sort of. Sega CD, which I did and do own and still love playing, even though, it was kind of a bust. Never have I ever completed Night Trap.
No, I've never had it originally. So, and I would have had it sooner than I did, but there was a certain company that screwed me out of it. But,
limited games for my copy.
Yeah, well, Night Trap is like $3, I think, right now on Switch, if anyone's interested. But,
yeah, there you go. Give it a shot.
Well, I have it on PS4. But, Sewer Shark is one that I'm very upset I never really beat. Very funny? Difficult.
I beat that once.
Okay.
And the game is all of a half an hour.
It's a short,
Yeah, it's like 25, 30 minutes tops. And I remember because there's a certain part in the game where it always reminded me of the Top Gun part where you had to refuel. You had to do something at a certain point in the game. And if you didn't do it, you ran out of gas and crashed or something like that. And I remember I struggled for the longest time to do that in Sewer Shark, and I eventually did. Yep. There you go.
Well, what was cool? What was cool about Sewer Shark when it first came out was the fact that it was like a full motion video that we really weren't used to at the time. And Yeah. So I think that's why, even though it was a half hour, it was still fun to play. But yeah, very difficult. Even though you just it was it was a memorization game. It was one of the many memorization games on the system.
Yep, very true.
But yeah, for me though, Sewer Shark on Sega CD is one if and when when at this point the Polymega comes in, I'll throw Sewer Shark in, give that a shot again. On the Genesis itself, I started dipping my toe into RPGs such as Shining Force and Shining Force 2, which are my favorite RPGs of all time. I'm pretty sure though, Shining Force 1, I think I took a while. I'm sure at points I stopped it, eventually went back, but I wasn't like Shining Force 2. I would play until I was done.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, Shining Force 1, I remember plowing through. Shining Force 2 was the one I took a break from.
Okay.
Because I just got to a certain point where I just got stuck, and I was like, okay, I'm good for now.
That I'm going to talk about a lot on PlayStation.
Yes. And then on the you remember the Sega Genesis Hits collection, which has like 50 games on it? They added Shining in the Dark. They have Shining in the Darkness on there, which is the prequel to Shining Force.
Dungeon crawler, yeah.
Yeah, it was a dungeon crawler.
Actually, it's a fun one.
That was a game I played for like 5 seconds on my 360, and I never again, first person. Just bugs me.
It's not really a first person.
No, it's not. I got to go back and really like look at it.
Yeah,
try it, but
give that one another shot.
I wouldn't put that on my abandoned list. Let's just say that, because I haven't really played it. Moving on to the Sony PlayStation.
Okay.
2 games, and I brought both of these games up on the show multiple times. One is Tomb Raider 2, and I had gotten stuck at a point where there was nothing I could do to figure out what to do next. And I remember that was the first game I really remember getting angry at.
Okay.
And then just getting spiteful and said, you know what? Screw you.
Screw you guys.
I'm done. No more Tomb Raider 2. And not only that, I'm never opening you Tomb Raider 3. Stay in that shrink wrap until I finish Tomb Raider 2.
Have you ever even opened up Kingdom Hearts 2? Didn't you have that shrink wrap for a long time because you never beat the first one?
Yeah. No. I beat Kingdom Hearts.
Oh.
And we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
That's PS2.
Okay.
But for PlayStation, it's definitely Tomb Raider 2 because I got mad. And then Final Fantasy 8. I got all the way, and that game was massive. That was a 4-disc game.
Yeah, honestly.
I got all the way to where we're on the ship traveling to what I believe is going to be the final confrontation and battle. And that was the moment when I said, you know what? I'm bored.
I'm tired.
And I put it down and never went back. And I guarantee you, if I look on my memory cards, I'm sure Final Fantasy VIII is still sitting on there. So now will probably be the perfect opportunity for me to go back and polish that off.
Do it. Absolutely. I am, as we speak, I'm actually thumbing through my PlayStation collection because I can do this easily. These may not be every game I've ever owned, but going through it right now, I can tell you, I forgot about that. I did own Final Fantasy VII originally, which definitely I never even barely started it probably enough to be considered abandoned. But I'll pull it out here for a second. This bad boy here, Final Fantasy Tactics.
I've never played that.
Now I'm going to find out if I come in backwards or not. Final Fantasy Tactics, which plays like Shining Force.
And I'm surprised I never picked that up to play.
I loved it. I don't know how far I got into it, and I'm not sure. I only have like 3 of the 4 memory cards that I used to own, so I don't know if any have it. But Final Fantasy Tactics is one that I definitely regret not finishing because of my love of Shining Force and that turn-based system. Yep. What eventually became considered tactics for games. Yeah. That one definitely.
Yeah, and that's one that I own now. I just have to go back and play it.
Oh, God. And again, forgive me. I'm literally flipping through this, so they're going to dawn on me. I had a long day. I woke up 10 minutes before we started recording, admittedly. Symphony of the Night. To the point...
you never finished that?
Not 200% or 202%, whatever it is. I'm definitely in the upside... The castle is definitely inverted. It's upside down. I gotta be 190% done, maybe. Okay. 185, but I never completed it. And that one's hurting.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a hard one for me to walk away from. I had which is why I didn't. I had to get through that, and I plowed through that game. I really did. Loved every second of it, and I still do.
Let's see what Spider-Man I've beaten. Don't mind if you got. Another great one that unfortunately I was one of the very few games I just couldn't get to play on my PS2. It was weird. I don't know why. It was like a very small handful. I couldn't get to play. Star Wars Rebel Assault 2. That was a lot of had some full motion video in it, but just I was enjoying it. But then I got the PS2, and when I couldn't play it, not that it didn't boot up right, it just kind of glitched out. Yeah. And at the time I still had my PS1, but I just never hooked it up again at that point. That was before we started going backwards with things, with the systems at least. So that's another one as I'm thumbing through this that I definitely never completed.
Yeah, Star Wars games were never my strong suit. I've only played a couple of Star Wars games or a handful.
Why do I own X-Files?
Beats me. So, but moving on from the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Here's one where I think actually, you know what? I'm going to take a break. I was going to start with the N64, but I'm going to switch over to PC for a minute.
PC. This is all you. I really have.
Yeah, because I did do some PC gaming, and I remember specifically. I've talked about my love for puzzle games, puzzle mystery kind of games.
Absolutely.
Myst is one of the games that I've always talked about, my love for that one.
Okay. Yes.
But the sequel, Riven, never completed. Walked away.
Really? Did you get far into it?
I don't know how far into it I got, to be honest with you. Maybe a quarter, maybe a half. I'm not sure. But I do remember at a certain point, I just said, I can't figure this out. I'm stupid. And I walked away.
Let me ask you a question. When you walk away, for some of these games that you're walking away from, do you remember, majority of them, was it you got very far into it? Or at what point do you consider it abandoned where you start the game up, you get in 2 levels, you're like, this thing sucks. I don't want to play anymore.
I think if you own it, here's what I can consider abandoned is that a game that you've actually have vested time in where you've enjoyed it. If I bought a game, and I played a little bit of it and I'm like, you know what, this game is garbage, and walked away, I wouldn't say necessarily I abandoned it. I just don't like it.
Okay.
Whereas another game like Riven, where I'm like, I love these types of games. I'm enjoying what I'm doing so far. Oh, I'm stuck. No way I can figure this out. I'll put it down. I'll go back to it later, and then never went back to it.
Okay.
And Riven was one of those where it's like, I'll get back to it eventually. I have other games that I want to play. And that's what I did with that. And then, of course, the other thing that happens with PC, and this is one of the other reasons why I'm not a big PC gamer or wasn't a big PC gamer. When you bought a new computer, bye-bye.
Yeah, there really wasn't a lot of backwards capability with that.
Yeah, it was tough to carry things over at the time. So, nowadays it's simple because you just do everything, Steam and stuff like that.
Exactly. Emulators.
Yeah. So Riven was the one on the PC that I do remember abandoning. But now I own it on my
PlayStation 1. Yeah.
Yeah, because I bought the whole collection.
Riven,
Game On.
The sequel to Myst.
That is correct.
Yeah.
But that was the PC one that
you know what? You mentioned PC. That's a system I don't really play. I'll say this for Game Boy. One that you haven't really played a lot. Nope. I definitely had a couple of RPGs. Final Fantasy Adventures was on there, but I always regret never finishing. Well, Operation C, which is the Contra game, which at this point I'm up to the final boss. I've gotten up to the final boss about 5 times, and I just get my butt handed to me. Well, Bill is having a tough time with the final boss.
Poor Bill. Poor Bill.
But the 2 Castlevania games I had for it, Castlevania Adventure and Castlevania Legacy, I definitely regret not going back. And I've owned them the whole time. I play my Game Boy periodically. I've never really gone long without playing a Game Boy game. And I'll consider a year not that long, in the lifespan of 30 whatever years with the Game Boy, 30 years or so.
Yeah.
But those two Castlevania games, I definitely, and they're tough. Don't get me wrong. They're tough. But those are the two OG Game Boy games that I definitely regret walking away from, because I'm like, I can't concentrate long enough on these, because sometimes, which this is a reason why, Ann, you never played Game Boys. As much as I love the Game Boy, excuse me, yes, if it's a long game, it's tough to play. Like, Game Boy games aren't designed to be long.
Right.
But those two Castlevania games, they took a little while.
Okay. So. Well, I can understand that. Yeah, I can't relate on any of the handhelds, so I really can't talk to those guys.
And, of course, Virtual Boy Wario Land, I never beat.
Well, Virtual Boy, all games were not meant to be completed. Actually,
Terrible.
All games were not meant to be owned. Nor the system.
Yes.
So moving on to N64, this was an obvious choice. Like, immediately when I thought of the N64, I was like, okay. I was like, why didn't I finish Conker's Bad Fur Day?
Such an odd game at the time. Such a drastic change.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, and if anything, it was Nintendo's attempt to reach out to an older audience a little too late. Because when that game came out, we were already being introduced to the Dreamcast.
Basically.
Yeah, and we were I think we were just on the cusp of the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox. So,
just about.
That game came out, late in the cycle. But from the portion of it that I did play, I mean, it was a great game. I just, again, shiny new stuff took me away from it, and I just never circled back.
Interesting. Did you ever end up getting it on Xbox?
No, because I still have it on N64.
Okay.
Wait, is it part of the Rare collection?
Well, no, Conker's, was it Locked and Reloaded or whatever it was on the original Xbox?
Oh, no, I never won.
Oh, okay. Is it on the Rare Replay?
I thought Conker might have been on the Rare Replay, unless I'm wrong. I mean, I could be wrong.
I don't even know what my Rare Replay is. Oh, great. No, I'm just losing games. On the N64 is the home of the top game that I have always regretted never completing, to the point where I got so, not even frustrated, but to the point where, like, this is never going to happen. And this was like right at the tail end of selling stuff back, like to Funkoland or EB or whatever. I never got the last star in Super Mario 64.
Oh yeah, we've talked about this. I'm still like 18 behind.
Yeah, it was 120 stars. I got 119. I was in college. I played this stupid level, and I forgot which level it was. It was something in the clock tower. So maybe it technically wasn't the last level if you try and do it in order of some sort. But I, day after day after day, just could not get this stupid star, to the point where it was years later. And, just I wanted to get another game. And I looked at the N6, I looked at Mario, and I'm like, you're not happening. I'm sorry. We had a good run. It's not you, it's me. And I just was like, here you go. And sold it back. Probably not even for a lot of money, but no, that's a lie. Because actually, this is how bad it was. I had the cart. My friend had the box. And I think I may have bought the box off my buddy to try and get a little more money out of the box. It was,
wow.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was like I was jonesing for something. I needed to sell something. Wow. So, but yeah, 109. I don't know who has the cart now, but 119 stars, just there. I'm right there. I'm about to knock on the door, and I'm like, forget it. That is my biggest abandonment.
But at the same time, I mean, you beat the game. You just didn't complete.
You're
100%.
You're right. I did complete the game, but let's face facts. When there's more to it, kind of like Super Mario Odyssey. I beat Odyssey, but I'm not done with the game. That's just a lie. I don't even think I beat Odyssey technically, because I still got that last level with no checkpoints in it. So,
did you beat Bowser at the end?
I've beaten a Bowser, but I think there's one more Bowser, maybe.
No. The Bowser. Did you beat him? The Bowser.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I think I'm on the level remember the level that's very long but has no checkpoints?
Oh.
It's on the moon.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's kind of like after the game, but there's still more to do. That's why I feel like there's still one more ending.
I don't know. I mean, I I completed that game.
Yeah, I'm so far.
Stars,
yeah, I'm so far from that,
which was insane.
But I'll consider Super Mario 64 an abandonment because it's not complete. It's not 100% completed.
Right. For you, it's an abandonment.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Nope. Totally get that. Moving on to Dreamcast.
Okay.
I had a small collection on Dreamcast, but this is the obvious answer. And probably this is my Mario 64.
Ooh, okay.
Resident Evil 3 Nemesis.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I got all the way to the end where you just faced off against Nemesis. I walked away because I must have played against him 100 times and could not beat him and said, you know what? Goodbye. And then I also moved on, but at the same time, I moved on to Code Veronica, which I did beat.
Okay. You know, it's funny. There's a difference between replay value and repeat value. And, you know, the replay is fun. The repeat is not so fun.
Right.
And that's what got me. You're right. That's just like what got me on Super Mario 64. There's only so many times you can bang your head against the wall and nothing's going to change. So
very true. And I banged my head against the wall many times.
Yeah, I hear you on that one. That's a rough one. Dreamcast, you know, I mean, I had some great games on Dreamcast, but I don't think I really had any, you know, the games I had, I treated as arcade games, meaning you pop it in, you play, you're done, you move on. So
yeah, like you're ready to rumbles and stuff like
basically. So I can't really, the only one I can maybe think of, which I'll throw in just for the sake of throwing it in, is GTA 2.
Okay.
I had GTA 1 on PlayStation and London, 1969. But GTA 2 I got on Dreamcast. And yeah, I got a good way into it, but definitely not enough to raise any eyebrows. But definitely something that I could have easily gone back to that I never did when I had the Dreamcast.
Well, that's fair.
Yep.
Okay. We're closing in on our final ones, I think, in terms of what we consider retro.
Yeah.
GameCube, Nintendo GameCube. And this one's an obvious one for me because for all my love of Legend of Zelda, all of my love.
What? Okay.
But I love Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
Right. GameCube, Twilight Princess, never happened. I got to the first part. I became the wolf. It was really cool. I got through the first.
I am one with the wolf.
Yeah, I got through the first temple or level. I'm trying to remember.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember I was like, oh, there's a new Nintendo coming out called the Wii. I'm going to stop playing Twilight Princess because I'll pick it up on the Wii because it's going to look better. Like this is when I first started saying I'll get it for quality. Like it'll be better quality, and then I'll play it through on the Wii. And then, of course, what happened was I found out about the Wii being all motion sensory and stuff like that, and I never bought the Wii and never went back to play through the rest of Twilight Princess.
Oh, gosh. I'm actually going through my collection right now to figure this out, but I'm shocked. I could have sworn that would have been one that you would have just played obsessively.
Nope. It's on my list to do.
Okay.
Right now, I'm working on Oracle of Ages.
Yes. So far, so good,
too. Which I've been live streaming.
Side note, here's my GameCube collection, short of 3, that I'm going to talk about here in a moment.
Very nice.
So,
unfortunately, Twilight Princess is still is on my list of games I have abandoned.
I think I got some games missing from that list. That was weird.
Sad face.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of shocked. Maybe a little hurt, but kind of shocked. I do have a Zelda. I mean, I have Twilight Princess. I just saw it on GameCube, but I barely started it. Wind Waker, I definitely did not get much into because I didn't like the sailing aspect. No, the graphics didn't bother me. Eventually, I got accustomed to the graphics. I just didn't like the sailing aspect of the game.
Oh man, that was so much fun. And then you would get to a point in the game too where there were like ways to teleport.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm absolutely sure of that. But just I couldn't deal with it. But 2 games. Now that I look at it, I think I'm going to go back and try Super Mario Sunshine.
Did not own them.
Yeah, no, that one I had.
Did not own it.
I liked it. I just didn't get far into it. But that was a subject of shiny new toy. One that just was like, I'm getting frustrated at this game and I got to stop it for now is Luigi's Mansion, the original.
Wow. Also never owned.
Yeah, which actually at this time, Luigi's Mansion 3 is slowly approaching abandonment as far as time frame is concerned because of shiny new toy. But the original Luigi's Mansion was giving me a hard time. Again, fair enough. I'm not going to complain about the difficulty level, but I'm just like, let me put this down. Let me move on to something else so I can enjoy the rest of this system. So those are three, but the Luigi's Mansion is the big one for me on the GameCube.
I can understand that.
Hell are my WrestleMania games?
Moving on to the Xbox, Microsoft Xbox. Now this was a tough one because
this is not my Xbox collection.
Okay. For as much as I love the Xbox, I did not own a large collection of games.
Neither did I.
Because PlayStation at the time had games more, not better games, but games more attuned to my interests.
I get it.
Because I wasn't a Splinter Cell guy. I wasn't a Halo guy.
Mm-hmm.
Those weren't my types of games.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's really what the Xbox catered to, like those type of things.
Definitely big time with first-person shooters, yeah.
Yeah. But one game that I absolutely loved that I had on the Xbox, and I believe this was a cross-platform too, was X-Men Legends.
Yes.
And X-Men Legends was the game that paved the way for Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
So I played through X-Men Legends, absolutely loved it, because the X-Men, they're I want to say my second favorite superhero team, next to the Avengers. Those were always my two, Avengers and X-Men. That's what I grew up on. Those are my two. And I loved X-Men Legends. So naturally, when X-Men Legends 2 Rise of Apocalypse came out, I snatched that one up because not only did you get to play as the X-Men, but you got to play as the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. They actually joined forces at a certain point to fight Apocalypse.
Okay.
I got to a point where the team up happened and I'm going through, and I just remember stopping at a level and saying, I'm kind of over this style of gameplay right now. I need to take a break. So I took a break, never went back, and it was so bad that when I got Ultimate Alliance for my 360, I was like, oh, I'm going to love this game. It plays like X-Men Legends. And I bought Ultimate Alliance, and I played through the first level and walked away again because I'm like, I was just
There's a reason why I didn't like this.
I was like, I'm not ready to go back to this, and I didn't.
Awesome.
So X-Men Legends 2 Rise of Apocalypse is a game that I really wish I finished, but I didn't. So again, I still have the save state somewhere on a memory card, I'm sure. And at some point, I would love to go back to that because I really enjoyed the gameplay.
No, they were fun. They were real fun.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun.
For me on Xbox, probably in the vein of Super Mario 64, where I was enjoying the game, but got to a point where I can't get any further. I'm not going to get further. Let me just sell it back. Is Buffy, the first Buffy game on Xbox, yes. The exclusive.
Love that game.
Yeah, game's fantastic.
And finishing that game was great.
Yeah, I never finished it. That's why I just never got. I got far in it, but I never finished it. And then when I was looking through the other one, again, not a big Star Wars fan. I mean, I enjoy them, but Knights of the Old Republic on Xbox.
Oh, yeah.
Which is kind of, a few weeks ago, we were talking about these, interactive movies like The Complex, Late Shift. Oh, Until Dawn, which I actually picked up on a PlayStation sale.
You will not be disappointed.
Where you choose your answer and that's what dictates the game. That's what KOTR.
There's a butterfly effect.
Knights of the Old Republic is like. And by the way, those of you interested, Knights of the Old Republic is backwards compatible on the Xbox One, which you can purchase if you want, which I highly recommend. But KOTR, as we called it back in the day, I was going a good clip on it. Actually, probably what happened was either I got Buffy and then Knights came along. And then, I got that point to Buffy. I'm like, I just can't play this anymore. Let me move over to Knights. Or probably most likely, I got Knights of the Old Republic, and then I got Buffy, and Knights went to the wayside. Buffy got sold back, and then neither one of them ended up getting played. Again.
Which is understandable. Buffy, I never sold back, but my problem was I wound up selling back my Xbox for 360 because I thought everything was going to be backwards compatible.
Oops.
And it wasn't. And then all of my original Xbox games I just hung on to and I never, ever, ever wound up buying the original Xbox back. So I have a collection of Xbox games and nowhere to play them.
Boo hiss. Boo
hiss. Last system I wanted to talk about, because I didn't have a Wii. I don't know if you wanted to. You can,
well, I mentioned. I mean, that's what kicked it off. The Super Paper Mario. That's the one for me.
But PlayStation 2.
Actually. Oh, PS2. Yes, I'm sorry, PS2.
Yeah, PS2. I was going to close with, but for PS2, the obvious choice for me, and again, this is like Tomb Raider 2 all over again. Played the first Kingdom Hearts and beat it. Absolutely loved it. Now, Kingdom Hearts 2 comes out. I pick it up and I want to play it, but then I hear about this other game called Chain of Memories. And Chain of Memories is like Kingdom Hearts 1.5.
Something like that.
Right. It happens in between 1 and 2. And me being the uptight anal person that I can be sometimes was like, oh, I don't want to start Kingdom Hearts 2 until I get through Chain of Memories, because I want to keep the story linear for myself.
Yeah.
Little did I know back then that Kingdom Hearts was never going to be linear, because they were going to release all these other versions.
Oh, forget about it. Yeah.
2.8s and 0.4s and whatever the hell.
You're out. Yep.
Right. So I get Chain of Memories for my PS2, and I get to a certain level where I think you're just fighting. I think it was on the Hercules level, I want to say, that I got to. Or the level after that, where you're just fighting bosses. And Hades is, I think, the last boss. I could not get through it for the life of me. Because first of all, Chain of Memories, it was a very weird way to play the game, because you had cards that dictated
that's why I didn't play it.
How much damage you can do. And when you ran out of those cards, you had to wait for them to replenish. So at a certain point, you're just like, oh, I can't do anything. I have to wait. And I just got to a point where I was like, there was no combination of cards that I can come out with that would make me get past this one point. So I put it down. And because I put Chain of Memories down, I never played Kingdom Hearts 2.
Are you even going to bother playing Kingdom Hearts 3?
Well, yes, because I will play Kingdom Hearts 3 after I get through Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh my God! Now, don't pick up a Game Boy Advance then, because then you got like Birth by Sleep or whatever that one is. What 365?
No. I bought the collection.
Oh, the collection. Yeah.
The stories so far. So now I have them all.
Fantastic. Yeah. I'm thumbing through my PlayStation 2 games actually right now, and there are a bunch of games that are just sitting here, just staring at me like, "Where did you go? There's light. What is happening?
Why did you leave me?
What is happening?" One of the earliest PlayStation 2 games, The Bouncer. Prelude to like Devil May Cry and stuff as far as gameplay. Bouncer was fantastic. I mean, this is probably
I never played Bouncer.
Probably, I think the Bouncer was probably one of the first like 10 games I got on the PS2. That one I never completed. I gotta go back and complete. I'm staring at various GTAs. Just never got through those. Dark Alliance, it's easy to beat with a 2-player game, not so easy as a 1-player game.
I argue against that.
But probably one of my bigger regrets is Metal Gear Solid, Devil May Cry's, but it's the God of War series.
Oh yeah, I've never played it.
That's a lie. That is actually a lie. Probably. Let me go back and rephrase. God of War series, I love them. And actually, even though it's not retro, it's going to be in a few years. But God of War 3 is a perfect example of, like, I'm like 2 levels in, and there's a jump I can't make. And I stopped playing that game a week after it was released because I could not get past the one part and never went back.
Yeah.
But I never.
But what do you mean by that's a lie when I said I've never played God of War?
Oh, I did not hear you. I apologize. I did not hear you say that. I'm sorry. No, I meant because there's another game really on PS2.
Got it.
I apologize. You should play God of War. I think you'd love God of War.
I probably would.
Yeah. Just check out the early ones. I mean, the new one's good with the sun, but the early ones are really good. And on like the PS4 and stuff, or even if you go back and buy PS2, the PSP versions eventually came out on the PS2 and the PS3.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Okay. But the reason why I said it's a lie is because a game that you recently completed, the remake of Shadow of the Colossus.
Remaster,
excuse me. I started that on PS2, picked it up again on PS3, picked it up again on PS4, and basically at the exact same spot in each one of these versions, as the graphics got better and better and better, I'm like, I'm done. It was probably either... Yeah, I did not get far into it. It was the 4th or 5th Colossus.
Okay.
That
Yeah, I beat the game on normal mode, and then I went back and beat all the time trials on the PS4 one.
Oh, okay.
Because like the last Colossus took me, and I live streamed the last Colossus, and it took me like an hour and 10 minutes to get through because I had the hardest time figuring out what the hell I was supposed to do at certain points. And then once you know how to beat each Colossus, going back and doing the time trials, a lot easier because the time trial for that last Colossus that you needed to beat was 9 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, how am I going to do this? It took me an hour and 10 minutes to do. I was like, oh, wait, I know what I'm supposed to do. So I beat it in 8 minutes.
Why didn't I know that then?
Exactly. But yeah, Shadow of the Colossus, I highly recommend going back to.
I want to, yeah.
To me, it was an absolute treat.
Yep, absolutely. Definitely recommended.
That's pretty much it for my list of what I wanted to point out.
Yeah, that's.
Did you have anything else?
No, not really. Because I mean, some of the other stuff is on later systems, but even ones currently now sitting on the Switch that are becoming abandoned.
I wouldn't say they're abandoned yet.
Not yet. We're getting there though.
Although I will say this: one current game that I am very happily abandoning is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3
really?
On the Switch. It's just not only is the issue with it wasn't even the style of game because it's all about the Infinity Gauntlet, and I love the Infinity Gauntlet
from the comic book side of things.
From the comic book side of things, the problem is the camera angles are bad, and part of the issue is probably because I was playing it with a friend. Multiplayer on that game is a nightmare because the camera follows one person, and if you're off screen, you're off screen.
It doesn't follow you.
No, it follows one of you.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So I would get stuck behind walls, and I'm like, I don't even know what's going on there. And then there were enemies over there with me, beating me up. I'm like, I don't know what to do here. I'm stuck. There were a lot of problem areas in the game.
All right,
that made me just say, I'm done.
Interesting.
Now going back to it, playing the solo will probably be better. I just don't know when I'm going to pick it up because there's so many other games I'm in the middle of.
Not only that, but they're still expanding. I think they just released a Fantastic Four DLC. All free.
DLC. Yeah, see,
all free DLC. So
hearing the DLC stuff and everything will make me want to go back to it because it's like, oh wow, now I'm getting to play as like the whole Marvel universe. So maybe one day I will go back to it. But that's one of the ones where I would predict would become an abandoned game.
Fair enough.
And then if we're done with that, before we go
I think
away,
so.
Before we go away. I wanted to share one other thing because you did your shopping. You got a couple. Of your pops.
I did.
I did a little shopping. Because times are tough for everybody. Totally understand that. I wanted to support a local business. Although the local business that I chose to support wasn't actually here in LA, it was in New York. So we talk about these guys all the time. Larry is friends with them and goes there all the time. So I contacted Game On in Long Island.
Nice.
Yep. And I told them, I said, look, and I just talked about it as one of our systems. I still don't have an original Microsoft Xbox. I never bought it back. Now I'm thinking is the perfect opportunity. It's like I have a little bit of cash to put towards video games rather than buying something new. Although there's another PS4 sale going on right now that I have stuff in my cart for. I finally downloaded Spider-Man. I saw it. So you're going to love it. So there's a new sale that went on Friday, though. I think it's another big sale in Japan.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Popular in Japan, and I've got 3 games on that in my card. But anyway, so I contacted Game On and I told them, look, I'm looking to buy an Xbox. I can very easily, buy it here. I'd rather buy it from you guys to support.
Very nice. Very nice.
And they were like, but of course the question is, will you, obviously, can you ship it to me? And they were perfectly, they were awesome. And they were like, absolutely, we'll ship it to you. So I told them, okay, fine. I just want Xbox, handful of games. They sent me pictures of all of the Xbox game shelves they have.
Oh, did they really?
So that I can go through them and pick the ones that I wanted.
So you're virtually no.
Yes, that's exactly what I did. No.
Can you take a picture of the back of this box? Let me see what this looks like.
No. Literally, our conversation on Facebook was, okay, I want Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, right? And they're like, okay, I don't see that. I was like, okay, second to bottom shelf, sixth one in. I was like, literally, we were going back and forth. Really
That's awesome.
So anyway, so they sent me a very lovely,
very nice.
Xbox.
Look at that.
So I have an original Xbox, which is great. Now.
Beautiful. And they do work. They fix those up. So they make sure they are working.
And again, for a really good price.
Well.
And then they asked me what kind of controller I wanted, so I went with the Duke.
God.
The OG Duke.
Yikes.
There you go. Now, unfortunately, I probably don't have my memory cards anymore. So
you can save it locally.
My save games.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
No, I mean, I don't have my save games on it. So I got the original Duke controller. Of course, they sent the connection
very good.
so I can plug it in. But I didn't. There are a lot of surprises that came in the box.
All right. Now that you mentioned that, so I was talking to the guys at Game On, and yes, they did say. They didn't tell me what. I told them don't tell me, but they were like, Anthony ordered some stuff. I'm like, oh, cool. And they recently, for my birthday, they were nice enough to send me a couple of items. Very sweet of them. They did not have to do that. So like, oh, thank you. So they told me they threw in a couple of surprises for you. But I
did.
Yeah, I don't know what they are yet. So I've been waiting for this.
Okay. So I'm going to share first off.
What did you actually order? Yeah.
This is what I actually ordered. Because I think they had, whatchamacallit, they do like buy two, get one free for used games.
Yeah, they do that a lot.
So I had asked them for, let's see. I think this one. Okay.
Real quick, just while you're getting that together, I just want to say this though. At Game On Miller Place, at Game On Smithtown, really more at Game On Miller Place is the main thing. On Instagram, on Facebook, go check them out. As of right now, during the quarantine, I believe they're still shipping. So for the listeners out there who are not on the Long Island and you want to check that out, go check them out. They are great people. They do, when available, they do the autism game nights, reaching out to these clubs. Really cool. So if you can, definitely support them. And if you're on Long Island, I believe both locations are now doing curbside pickup finally. Miller Place finally opened up. So
very cool.
Yeah.
So I had asked them for 7 games. I originally had 9 on my list, but they didn't have 2 of them.
Okay.
So I told them, I said, just throw in a couple of games as a surprise, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The whole goal was to just get what I want. So first
is that always the goal?
Yes. Okay. So I got Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind.
Nice.
Which was RPG of the Year and Game of the Year in 2002.
Platinum Edition.
And the book in here is super thick.
So it's probably a mess.
So I got that for my collection. These 2 games I used to own, but I guess I must have traded them in. But Lord of the Rings 2 Towers,
okay,
and Lord of the Rings Return of the King.
I really
enjoyed. I enjoyed both of those. So, and I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, so all good for me. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, never played.
Okay,
never played this.
I heard good stuff about it. Yeah.
Yeah, this was supposed to be really good.
Is that the one that the Jake Gyllenhaal movie's based off of?
I believe that is correct.
Okay.
Yes. Ninja Gaiden Black.
Great game.
Again, never played it.
Great game.
Always wanted to.
Ninja
again,
Gaiden.
my Xbox, I feel like my Xbox mostly became a Buffy WWE system.
Fair enough.
Because we're on Road 2. And then last but not least, Soul Calibur 2.
Oh, nice.
So I picked that, and this is the one with Spawn.
Yes.
So, Spawn.
Yep. Beautiful.
So those were the ones on my list that I asked for. Got a couple of surprises on top of that.
Can't wait to
First ones, which are really cool. I got these cool Nintendo game packs. They gave me 2 of these.
Yes.
Which is awesome. So 3 scratch-off cards, 2 stickers. I don't know if I want to open them. You know me.
Yep.
Posterity is a beautiful thing.
Are they 2? I missed it. Are they 2 different characters on the front?
No, they're both Mario.
Oh, okay. Someone Link, someone Mario. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I can't, look. A Link one would have been awesome. Oh no, my Zelda love, but look, they don't know this.
No, I know. I'm just saying in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then, what else? What else did they throw in for me? Halo.
Everyone's got to have Halo. They love how much you love it.
And Halo 2.
Awesome. All right. Yeah. Listen, those are go-tos you got to have.
Yeah, which is awesome. Splinter Cell.
These are games you just mentioned a little while ago. Like, I never wanted these.
I know, and that's what's surprising about it. And Splinter Cell, Pandora tomorrow.
Awesome.
I'm not done.
Really? Good Lord, what'd they send you? They like you better than they like me.
Prince of Persia, The 2 Thrones.
Okay. I think that was the first one that came out on Xbox. They're just giving you. They're just getting rid of stock at this point. They needed to make room on the wall.
Max Payne 2.
Ooh, that's such a good one.
The Fall of Max Payne, which I've never played the Max Payne series.
That's actually good. Good Lord. What?
Simpsons Road Rage.
Great game. Game. Complete ripoff of GTA.
Another one. You never played it.
Really? You're going to like that one.
Never played it.
That's a fun one. What?
Star Wars, The Clone Wars, and Tetris Worlds 2-pack.
That is such a weird... I've always found that 2-pack to be weird.
Well, LucasArts. No, one's LucasArts and one is THQ.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's interesting. So,
good Lord.
And finally...
Oh, thank God.
Namco Museum.
Oh, there you go.
Which is a no-brainer. No-brainer. So, Pac-Man, Dig Dug, Galaga, Ms. Pac-Man, Pole Position 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. So, really good collection.
Awesome.
There.
That is very nice.
And again, that's super nice of them. And then this was a really cool surprise because I was looking in, this is the last thing. Okay. But I'm looking in the box and I'm like, wait, this is weird. There's one extra wire in this box and I don't know why. And then I look at it and I'm like, oh, they gave me the HDMI.
That is awesome.
Inverter, so I can hook this up to my TV.
That is great. What is that? The Power one? Power A, I think it is, or
it's called Pound, I guess.
Oh, Pound. Yes, Pound. It's either them or Hyperkin. Both have great.
Yeah. So I mean, I can't. Yeah, I'm so grateful for
that. Is
all
awesome.
Of this stuff. Absolutely.
You know, it's funny. So, I was going to ask you. I was going to tell you more. I was like, they have HDMI wires now for the original Xbox.
Well, now I have it. Oh, by the way, this thing is friggin' heavy.
It is, right?
Oh, my God. I forgot how heavy this thing is. A brick.
I had to move mine recently. That hard drive inside of there is wicked.
Oh, yeah. It's insane.
Yep.
But, yeah, so,
awesome.
Tristan J, Game On, absolutely awesome. Thank you so much. I cannot wait to hook this up. And what's funny is that I can't wait to hook it up and put Buffy back in for some reason.
Yeah, well,
I want to play that first.
Of course. That's your go-to. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's my go-to. But, yeah, absolutely awesome.
Awesome. Good stuff. Good
stuff. Yeah, no, that was a wonderful shopping experience.
Excellent. Very good. Yeah. All righty. Well, with that, I think we're going to call it for this week.
Yeah, we're good.
Hopefully this Zoom experience worked out for everybody as well.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to see everything in widescreen. Like I said, I have a little work to do behind me now.
Yeah, more to your left. No, to your right? Yeah, there, over there, that wall.
That would be my right, your left.
Okay, yeah, that part of the wall.
Yeah, I really can't do anything here.
No,
this is my backyard.
Let's expand out. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if I go this way, I'm on the roof. So.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
All right. So with that, again, check us out on, hit us up, please, on social media at Retro Gamers Podcast, at Retro Gamers Pod, respectively. And hit them with the email.
Email at theretrogamers.com.
Awesome. And with that, Ant, enjoy your Xbox and your games.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your week. Stay safe.
Yes, gonna definitely try to. Finally got my reusable masks now. So this is not a garment, and I was wearing it upside down all day before I realized how to actually put it on.
Nice. So just not to point it out, but I was wearing masks before they became the trend. Mostly because I was going to China last year.
That is true. I don't mean this to what?
And Japan.
Oh yeah. I don't mean this. I'm not trying to be rude or funny. It's true. I was driving to Brooklyn and it looked like I was driving through Tokyo because everyone's wearing the masks. But it is what it is for now. We'll get past it.
This could very well be the future. And you know what? It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just not. It's just we're not used to it.
And with that, I'm gonna politely agree to disagree, but that's what makes us the Retro Gamers, and that's what makes us great friends. With that, though, folks, and enjoy the heat, enjoy the AC.
Thank you. Enjoy the rain.
No, I am actually. I'm gonna open up my window. And with that, we will catch you right here next week on the Retro Gamers Podcast.